All right, we are live.
Yeah.
Yay! Welcome everybody. We are going again for VOD review. Today is going to be Overwatch. So everybody knows I used to coach the Overwatch team for a brief period of time, a couple of years ago, as we were in between Overwatch coaches. So I know to some extent what to do with Overwatch. I will say though, I am pretty out of practice as far as Overwatch 2 is concerned and the difference that moving down to 5 players goes. So I will be learning a little bit, and as such, I have brought in one of the players from our varsity team, Osiren. Welcome, Osiren.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. What level are you playing at right now? What is your main role? How well versed in Overwatch are you? What is your Overwatch history like? You want to give us a rundown?
Hmm. Right now I'm playing DPS, but I play flex support for a number of years. I played in BPL, a collegiate, no, a community league for a number of years. Helped out in there. Like scrim like 4.3 for a couple of years, and now I play for Snhu, swapping over to DPS. But I think I hit like one off top 500 for season 36. But other than that,
Nice.
uh, yeah.
That is good. I am. Normally, we would, you know, get get going with Ranked, which we can do for almost every other game. I think Smash and Overwatch we can't, so we'll try to find something fun to do, kind of pre-stream before we start doing VODs for Overwatch in the future. But for now, we are going to be doing primarily VODs. So I'm just gonna get myself logged into my notes app so that I can, write down notes as we go. And we will get started in just a moment here. First VOD is going to be for Nick. Nick, thank you, Nick, for putting in many VODs. It's actually really nice. We're only going to do one of them today, only because we have 3 VODs for Overwatch
Mhm.
today, which I'm excited about. 3 different people are going to get reviewed. Um, so sorry, thank you for putting in multiple. We can save them if you want to, or as you record better ones, we can kind of close the old threads and we can utilize the new ones. This should not be view only. Please hold. Sorry, everybody. I want to make sure I've got my notes prepared from the beginning. That way, I'm not catching up again in the future. There we go. Nick. Overwatch. We have one of the other struggles too with Overwatch is that trackers are particularly bad. So I am going to leave tracker out. I think Nick, you said that you didn't have an overbuff link or a tracker link or anything to that effect. Osiren, what is the best as far as you're concerned? Is there
Everything's bad. You just go onto their profile and check it. But I think
okay?
Nick said last night he ranked down to like plat 5, I think.
Nick is gold,
Or
if I recall correctly. Um,
yeah.
so we will. Oh god. Oh god. I just accidentally destroyed something. So we're gonna put you at gold 3 because that is your most recent VOD with Orisa. With the start date of 2/2/23. And we're going to get these ready to go. And we will go from there. Okay. We're going to get started with the VOD. I'm going to share my screen for you on Discord, Osiren. Give me
Mhm.
just a moment. Alright, that should be getting started. And we are going to use 720. Okay. Um, Winston Sigma VOD. So one of the things that Nick has said in skill dev, I also really love that you're asking questions, Nick. I think that that's super important. Um, was in response to one of Kresnik's videos that he posted in required reading. Says, "What can I do to understand team comps better? I understand the synergy of some heroes, but don't get the big picture team synergy and what teams work. Is there anywhere with listed meta comps or anything breaking them down?" The video talks a lot about it, but a lot of it is just saying that's something I should work to understand, but I don't know where to start. Got any recommendations for him, Osiren? Or
Mm.
them,
So
excuse me, I don't actually know.
I think Nick see him, I believe.
Okay.
So like I was thinking about this because I saw the question. I think like the best way to explain it in terms of like a rank thing is that certain characters work well with other characters. But there's no like existing synergies to the point where, oh, okay, I need to be like on time with this person and there's a like flow charted synergy. So like
Right.
every character should individually know their jobs. And if you realize like, oh, okay, I'm playing like Doomfist while my team is running like a double sniper comp. Think about like Doomfist wants to get in there, create like chaos and all that stuff, but like um start to think about like, okay, am I really helping my team in such a way? And sometimes that isn't like, okay, I need to swap off onto like Sigma or something. You just need to adjust how you're playing your character to better help your team, if that makes sense. I think that's a convoluting it, but also like there's no like meta comp at the moment because we're in transitional phase where we're between season 2, season 3, and then Owl's not out. So people generally like whenever Owl's around, people will generally follow that meta throughout the whole season. And because we're in the off season, people don't really have a guidance to pick like a certain comp or like any strong thing. Everyone's still figuring it out right now. So you can run pretty much whatever you want, especially in a
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah, and from that perspective, just given the way that different levels play out, like, do you think that there is any particular benefit to playing one tank over the other for the first, for up until plat or up until diamond or something to that? Like, does it matter much more at the higher levels than it does at lower levels?
It matters a lot more at the higher levels because people are a lot more in tune to the tank matchups and especially uh ability usage. And like we'll say like, okay, you're playing this character. I will literally just know my exact matchup, exactly what I have to do because I know I'm favored and then just win. Whereas a lot of like lower rank tanks is just kind of like wet noodles slapping together. And
Sure.
learning to turn your noodle into a sword will then make it so like you're more purposeful with your tank picks.
Yeah. So I think really kind of at the end of the day, Nick, you can think about it. It's good to learn it. When OWL comes back, that is going to help a lot because we'll see kind of how metas play out. Most of the time, your tank picks are going to be decided by what the rest of your team comp looks like. But I wouldn't get too worried about it at this point. I would say get a character that you're comfortable with and start, right? Um,
I would say the best hero pool to go with on tank right now is go with three.
yep,
Like three tanks that you can solidly play because two like then you might get countered or someone might find out like, oh, this guy only plays two tanks. I will just counter them the whole time or something like that. So having three, I would say, is like the best thing to do. But if you're having more, I don't really see it as a problem. Just always know when you're picking a tank character, what is my job? It goes for any character really. What is my job? What is my character like best suited to do over any other character in that role? And then like abuse the shit out of that,
yep.
if that makes sense.
Yep. So Winston and Sigma. Before we even get started, Winston obviously dive can play, frontline as necessary for a little bit until bubble goes down. Um, Sigma kind of the opposite, really trying to mitigate damage as much as possible comparatively. Any reason to get any deeper than that at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So like with Winston, the number one thing you want to keep in mind is uptime. So when we're going through this Winston part of the VOD, I want to see like you be able to get in, use your bubble, and then keep your uptime enough where you're splitting that backline, like was discussed in the DPay VOD, where the more pressure you create on the backline, if you're getting like sleep or nade out, or even like Kiriko TPing into her team because you're blocking her off, are all important things because then you're taking away resources and being able to the skill of Winston is being able to extend that lifetime that you have in the fight and be able to stay up and get out that massive amount of resources. It's not so much an execute character as it would be like with Doomfist or Ball. It can be given the right hero picks like DPS picks around you,
Yep.
but you really
More
want to be
disruption though, right?
yeah, a lot of disruption, and that just comes from existing. So being able to exist for long periods of time just helps your team out.
Okay. So we're on Winston now, so we're just going to focus Winston. And when we do make the swap, we'll talk about the swap and we'll talk about kind of
Hmm.
Sigma a little bit. But I want to get started here, just with the VOD. Oh, and one other thing, Nick, you did say that there is no comms in this or any of the other videos that you submitted. All VODs from this point forward, if there are no comms, we will not review it. So that's number one and most important note I'm going to put into your notes right now. VODs must have comms. Just end of story. If you're not communicating with your teammates, you're putting your team at a huge disadvantage. I'm gonna pause
Oh,
it here.
that worked.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
I am a little bit concerned just about how far up you are. It's good to take the space and try to fight. Point's not going to unlock for like quite a while, and I think you're pretty far ahead of your team as it stands right now. Um, and you're fully out of all of your abilities, so you're it's pretty terrifying to be you at this point. We'll see if they can actually punish that right now, but like this would get punished at a higher level.
Yeah, the better thing to do is because generally people are going to be taking the top lefts. You dive that top left to take control of it for your team, and then stage from there to choose your next jump. Because, like Tim said, you have your bubble out. You should not be going for any aggressive play now. Like you're gonna get lit up almost immediately. And on top of that, I bet you $10 your team was probably not with you. Take 2 seconds, look back there, and like see where your team is. This is good. Yeah. Yeah, just shield dancing and getting in their face. That's everything you need to do, and you probably get on it here as well. Yeah.
Yep.
The only bad thing was you went in when you didn't have bubble again, and then that made it so you got util dumped completely. Nothing your team can do about that. You can probably get the same exact value out of just playing that corner, playing natural cover, and then using your jump to execute once that Ana gets that nade off or someone's low. See, this is good. If you jump up here, this is not good. Yeah. I think especially you can do a lot. You got to work on Winston movement a little bit better because a lot of your jumps are just straight up. Uh, that increases the airtime, and airtime is very predictable in Overwatch to the point where like anyone can track it in terms of aim. So you want to be making sure that you're like if you want to execute on someone and hit that leap combo, uh, you want to be holding S and then jumping on them to just get that 100 damage in with the melee combo. And a lot of times I think you might be jumping up for like safety, and it's just like you're like almost at full health.
Yeah,
So
I feel like
you're wasting
you're
cooldown.
utilizing it as a disengage in scenarios when I don't think that you need to, right?
Yeah.
Um, just keep it, track it. This is good. This is way better. Your bubble is down. You're not just jumping directly in midair to try to get this Roadhog to stop shooting you, but you are playing this like left side natural cover here and backing off. Great. I think this is what you were talking a little bit before,
Hmm.
Osiris.
You bubble them all from heals. That was not a good enough bubble. I would have gone back a corner. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. That works too. I think that right there, you had bubble down, didn't get value out of it because you just bubbled off Roadhog. You're not gonna be able to kill because he still has his heal up. It's just like an awareness thing.
And it's primarily you shooting him, so like I think it's back here, right? When we're pushing and bubbling the Roadhog.
Yeah,
So this
and
you're
then
playing the cover.
and then he gets out primal for almost nothing. He doesn't really do anything.
So this is the bubble that we're talking about. You're bubbling the Roadhog off from the heels behind him. The Kiriko can move up here pretty easily. Sorry, this is hard to see. The quality on the VOD's pretty tough. And you're not going to be able to pressure this guy down, right? If you have, more DPS with you, kind of in the backside here, maybe, but the Kiriko's close enough that he can just back off a little bit. And this isn't really space that you need. You know what I mean? Like, you're fighting for this space pretty specifically. You already have point, right? Like, them not being on point is already a win for you. So you taking this space specifically, I don't think is as important.
I think the better option, instead of this play, what I do instead is I would see that Kiriko off to the left, pretty split. What you could do is you can go for your jump combo on her. So hold S and jump, and then hit your melee combo. So it'll get her 100, and then she's probably gonna have to force your TP out, and then you can just bubble that choke off to the right, like the one that you're on, and then so you're splitting off the Roadhog and you're applying pressure to the back line at the same time instead of just splitting off the Roadhog. So you're forcing multiple things out of them at once when doing that.
Can you remind me the name of the Overwatch map tool?
Stat banana.
Yes, Stat Banana is what I was looking for. I'm just gonna pull up this map just so we can, you know. Apparently, you have to sign up for Stat Banana now.
Yeah, you do. You have to pay like $5 a month.
All right, well, I can do that.
I don't think you have. You could honestly, if there's just like any Oasis game, you could probably just pull up a replay or something like that.
Yeah, I'd rather have actual map just so we can
That's
see
fair.
map stuff. I can pull it up in game too, but top-down view I think would be pretty helpful. We're pulling it up in game because Stat Banana has decided it's going to take a year and a half. I have to do this through custom, right?
Yeah, or I can give you like a replay code of Oasis. I don't think we scrimmed it last night though.
No, because I want to be able to move around and
Okay.
use camera and
I'll
stuff.
hop in the lobby with you.
Cool, thank you. I don't know if I have you added on this account. I don't think that I do.
Yeah, I don't see you.
All right, I'm adding you. What's your battle tag here?
I'll DM it.
Thank you. Oh, actually, one thing I gotta do is make this not full screen. Sorry for the delay, everybody. We'll get there. There we go. It'll make life a little easier.
Do you want me to set it up real quick?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead
Okay.
and just set it up. Can you set it up? Do I need to like give you perms? Sorry.
Yeah, you
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. There you go.
No, that's fine. Might have to restart map a couple times, but
Oh, there's no
I'll
way
wait
to.
for you
They
to
didn't
check.
fix this in Overwatch too. You can't just select the
Nah,
one you want to go to.
Oh, we're on. No, we're not on the right one.
We're
Anyways.
not on the right one.
Yeah.
There
Well,
we
you
go.
can do like
Welcome
certain
to
ones,
Oasis.
Weird.
but like, it's like a different map entirely where it's made for like the FFA game modes. Alright, this is not the
This
map.
is not the
Yeah.
correct map. Yep.
Welcome to Oasis.
Alright, is that it?
Please hold. No. Everything's a nightmare. Oh, can y'all not see Overwatch right
Welcome
now?
to
No, you can.
Oasis.
Okay, there we go. Okay, here. Good. We did it.
So,
I am looking at the spot that we were talking about finally.
alright. So what you did, Nick, is you played like this, which is good. This is like the first step of where you want to do, because this is a good engage point for whether you want to go over here, and you protect that angle, or you go back here. So what I was talking about is you want to hit a leap that's like S, so you're minimizing the movement. Hit Kiriko over here, and then she's probably gonna be forced to TP out like where I am over here, and then all you have to do is walk right here, bubble, and then you can either focus Roadhog back, or you can apply pressure to the healers, so the Roadhog gets no heals. If your team doesn't kill Roadhog, then you did your job. It's not your fault. That's
Yep.
all I'm gonna say, because you're Winston. You're not gonna be able to beam him down, but yeah, yeah, and especially like in terms of like Winston movement, I know it's the number one thing you tend to do. You jump straight up like I am, but you can do a lot more. So there's normal jump, which is just that. There's W jump, which goes a bit further, and then S, which is like the way that you burst someone down. So if someone's at like 100 heals, I'm just gonna hit the melee jump combo. So that does 70 on jump, 30 on melee. So it's probably your best bet for doing anything, and then right click if you want to do more shit. Because also, like the other thing is you can hold corners better now because you do have that right click option. So yeah,
Cool.
that's
All right. We are going to get back into. We can just leave this open if that's all right for you, Siren.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna kill
yeah.
sound, and then we'll get back into VOD for now.
Yeah, so if you go for see that Kiriko TP's out, and then you're splitting off 3, you really did not need Nano there. That's not your fault. Yeah, if you force out that Kiriko earlier, and all you need there is your jump and your bubble to get that Kiriko TP out, and then you have a much higher chance of winning that fight, even with your ult stack.
Yeah. What do you think about kind of target acquisition here? Because like you did a good job of splitting the teams together. But you kind of left your team alone back there, and you didn't really have DPS to kind of help you burst anybody down. Do you think
I
that
think it's
in the
fine.
middle of that there he should have returned more quickly, or is it just like pop ult and disrupt as much as possible?
I thought it was pretty okay
Yep.
because he was splitting off 3. It was like a 2v4 and a 3v1,
Yep.
which like he's not gonna die with Nano Primal, so it should be fine. I think Kiriko TP's out during the Primal,
Yeah, I think she
but
TPs to the rest of the team that is kind of pressuring his backline.
yeah, it's a good thought, and that applies in more scenarios. It just did not work out in your favor that time because of the setup that you had at the first part,
Okay,
especially yeah.
cool. So one of the things that I am going to be, I gotta write this in Notepad for some reason. So general notes. So far, like I've said, VODs must have comms. Easy. Um, we already went over that. One of the hero specific ones. I think for Overwatch. So to give you some perspective of Siren for all of the different reviews, like for example, League of Legends, we have general, then we have micro and macro. Um, that we're going to be tracking as far as skills go, and that people can kind
Mm,
of implement. For Valorant, it's offense and defense in general. I think for Overwatch, it makes sense for us to do hero and macro, if that makes sense.
mm.
So, like, we need specific, like, here's what you need to do with Winston, and then here's what you need to do as far as your role goes. So I'm just gonna say practice Winston jumps as like something that we have gone over.
Yeah.
And further practice and vary Winston jumps because, like you said, been utilizing pretty much just W straight up every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like how it gives a tip about Reaper on the
Right.
side.
It's immediately just like, oh, you gotta do shotgun? Don't do that. Okay. We're going. This feels a little bit preemptive.
Jumped in blind. Your team is not staged to the front half of that wall, so no one can help you. And the only way that that jump is even worth AVF Primal. Next.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. You do not get punished.
And then you go back in on half health full.
Yeah.
You can just drop here. You don't have to jump, and then yep.
Cool.
This is good. This is what you should be doing, and then jump out at this. Or now you have heals. No, you don't need to.
Part of the reason why comms would be helpful here too. I don't know if you're not in team chat. I don't know if you have no comms at all, for example. But like, let's say you were in Discord and it's just not getting recorded or something to that effect. Like, we would know at this point, right? Like, we would know that your team was like, okay, you were like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna jump in, and then you jump in, and your team's like, okay, yes, we're ready. Like, we might not have heard that or known that. But I do think still that was a preemptive kind of jump in to initiate the fight.
Yeah, and then you get on the back line is probably the best option. Way too late. You're not gonna kill Roadhog here. There's no reason to go on him.
Yeah.
And generally, this is gonna be a really hard one to play against. In general, I was about to say it's gonna be hard to kill Kiriko Moira, just off virtue of both of them being extremely mobility focused. And so you just have to pick one target. Like, okay, yeah. This actually illustrates what I'm gonna say perfectly. Look at the amount of times that fight that you swap to a different target. You had Kiriko dead to rights, all like split, and then you swap off of her to go to Moira. Moira dead to rights, and then you swap off to go to Tracer. You just keep swapping targets without focusing one down. Because remember, you only have to get someone to like 100 health to pull off that combo I was talking about. So. Yeah, don't flick up when you're going for jumps. You're just disorienting yourself at the time. You really want more lateral movement than vertical movement when you're on all the jumps that you're making.
Great. Right? That was the first one
Yeah.
that we've seen that was just like pick a target, jump to it, land, kill it, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't a vertical one. It was just
Yep.
straight on. Alright, yeah, your Kiriko Bell out. You should just be focusing Kiriko right now. 100%. Get that one. Yeah. See, you get TP out, and then Kiriko's dead. Just absolutely dead here.
Would that have killed? Would S key have been the right movement? It looked like you jumped too far.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you would have killed her earlier.
Oh my god, this is the longest overtime
Right?
fight I've ever seen.
You're fighting for your life right now.
Roadhog has no heal. Yep, you go on him. Shield dancing well. Just no reason to face check him there. If you don't have numbers, no you have people with you, so. You can hold up.
High ground. Nice.
I agree, high ground with this comp and the comp that he's playing against. does not matter, but still good for other maps.
Yep.
Yeah, Eski jump. Yep,
He
yep,
does
yep.
at least get that, right? Like that
Yeah, if
the
he
high
gets
ground
combo
helps
there,
that.
yeah. And if you follow Kiriko there, that's a one fight for your team because they're down a healer. Bubbled a bit early. No one was looking at you. Yeah, you gotta look for Kiriko after she TPs. Like that's like the third time you've had her dead to rights, and then you just look anywhere else.
I definitely think the vertical jumps are hurting you in that aspect. Like they're good. Vertical jump has a time and place, right? Like when you are in trouble, you can vertical jump to save your life in some cases, but you were doing it at too high HP too many times. Instead, you could just be like panning around horizontally and trying to find that Kiriko and then jumping, right? Instead of trying to shove your mouse up so that you
Yeah.
look straight up in the air, jump straight up in the air, and then try to find her, right?
Yeah, I think also like the APM is higher than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Where you're making a lot of actions like where I was saying wet noodle earlier. Like you're fighting like a wet noodle where you're like slapping a bunch of times, but like you're holding a sword or something. You only have to do like one certain thing. You probably win the fight. So like I'd like to see you playing like a lot slower down to the tempo instead of just trying to play quicker and go for like just like think about what you're doing more because you're starting to panic a lot. Like and defaulting like, oh, I'm like supposed to do this helps out a lot with that.
Right.
You're just playing your life here. You almost have primal. Yeah, you just if I'm you, I stay on side point. I don't even do anything there. Someone gotta switch. We ain't doing no damage.
Make this recommendation to everybody, but turn off chat. Can you just auto turn off chat for all your games as Siren? I'm not familiar with Overwatch 2.
You can do slash hide chat.
Yep. Okay. Strongly recommend. It's just there's almost never anything good that comes of chatting in here.
Bro, I love you. No.
Yep.
That guy is.
Just turn off chat. Way easier that way. You're not gonna let them second guess you, right? I think you did fine.
So at least talking about their comment's like not really right because I think Winston's the best choice in the Roadhog right now.
Yep.
Just off of the amount that he's able to split his backline, and it's the one character like Roadhog wants to be holding a center point and then controlling everything behind him with his hook. Winston's able to jump past that and bubble himself, so Roadhog uh, either wastes his hook on you into a bubble, or just like can't do anything. And it's like I said before, it's like the job changes based on your team and the other team's picks. So like how you would be playing Winston against like on a Lucio backline is a lot different than how you'd be playing against their backline right now. So
yeah, turn off chat. The Winston was fine there, and I think if you start to implement the like S key jumps with melee involved, you're gonna up your just general DPS, right? And whether or not you have good DPS behind you, you'll be able to get those kills kind of solo more consistently anyway.
yeah, choosing one target will definitely help out with getting those kills solo.
Yep.
And everything. Like you can carry this game just off of that.
Yeah. See, and I mean, we'll see what they come out with, right? But how do you feel about Sigma versus Roadhog? Is it significantly worse?
It's I'm not sure about the matchup, but in Overwatch 1 it was really good. It's just
Okay.
not something I see anymore because Sigma's able to control two angles at like all times. He's able to ISO off Roadhog while spamming the backline, all while like not having to do anything.
Okay.
So like
So
the
this
matchup,
isn't necessarily a worse matchup that they have convinced you into, right? But they have changed your mindset and convinced you that
yeah,
you need to change despite it not really being your fault.
yeah. Look to you don't have to pause for this. Look to reactionary shield on the hooks. Look to save rock for Roadhog's heal. Also, I don't know what's up with your graphics things, dude. This is like in every VOD. Do you see that black stuff? Like,
No, where like this on the ground?
no, go back to spawn.
Oh yeah,
See that?
the leaves are like weirdly.
Yeah.
Yeah, might just be running like weird low graphic setting that we're not used to seeing. I mean, I recommend low for everything, but
I run max low. I think it's a driver issue.
yeah.
Okay, Arisa v Sigma. Literally just play your space the whole time here. Okay. Stand still here. No one's looking at you there. You can literally just stand still that entire time and just not have to worry about anything. Alright. You really need to find your space because you're getting into people's faces and then just like putting your shield out. Alright, okay. There's a couple there's a couple things. A, play your space as Sigma. You want to be spamming from a distance. You're basically looking to hold an angle for a long period of time against the other team, especially with a character like Hanzo, where you're just trying to spam down their choke and beat them over like a long period of time, as opposed to in 2 seconds, like you would on like Roadhog Sigma, or not Roadhog, like Roadhog Winston or something like that. Like you want to be just holding an angle or two angles for an extended period of time. The other thing I noticed is you tend to use grasp and rock without thinking about like the best use. You kind of just like throw it out. It's like I said, the APM is too high. You need to start thinking about that ability usage more. We're like, okay, we're trying to rock a tracer that's like running into us. When we could be like saving that for Reese's like disengage, or I think her jab, you can hit it through her jab spin, other things like that. Where like you can counter a lot more things, and then you're using grasp sometimes when your shield is just up and at full health.
Yeah, you've been
and
like pushing
you're
your
not getting
own
shot at.
shield to grasp, and
Yeah.
you could just use your shield, right?
Yeah. Literally, you're taking an off angle left, walking on the point, doing all this stuff. I, I can restart map, but like, I don't think I would. But literally, I would just sit main and shoot. You don't even have to move your crosshair. Like, you can probably just spam down choke and tag that Kiriko, and but you're trying to do way too much. Get in the middle of it with bad positioning. It's weird. It's very weird.
And this might it might honestly just be like, I don't know how comfortable you are on Sigma compared to Winston.
Very, very. You played it all during tryouts, and it's really good.
Okay.
It can be a lot better.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, so you hit the rock. All you have to do, if you're playing like the good distance for Sig there, you just have to hold back, and then you get that one-shot combo on Kiriko.
Yep.
Because you're getting too nervous, and all you have to do is stand still and press left click and not get nervous. But you're getting too close in, tensing yourself up like aim-wise, and then you miss that one shot.
Yeah, I think too. Like you are trying to kill their backline entirely solo on both heroes so far, right? On Winston, you've been jumping onto the Kiriko and trying to burst her down, and like good, you can do that with him. With Sigma, you're kind of giving up your team, right? Like that, you just acquired a target with the Kiriko in the back line and said, I am going to press W and kill her. And your team all died behind you, right? I think with comms, like being in team comms and just saying like, I'm I'm rushing Kiriko, somebody come with like calling out somebody and being like, hey, maybe not Hanzo come with me, but maybe Cassidy can come with you, right? You flank from the right, I got Kiriko, come push with me, right? Just calling out one person on your team to be able to help you burst them down will make it so that you don't need to just press W and get into their backline with Sigma.
I did not know Jab got eaten by Grasp.
Hey, what does it not eat?
Doesn't eat like beams and stuff like that,
Right.
and other rocks. I thought because Javelin, I think of like as like another rock,
Oh,
it wouldn't get eaten.
just because it is a projectile.
Yeah, I've
But
never
it,
really
it
seen
catches
that.
like every other projectile, though, right? Except for rocks.
I'm trying to think.
I think so.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, that makes
it's like
sense.
it's like a Moro. It's like a Moro. Actually, no. Diva Matrix is
Pretty OP.
wildly more
Yeah.
OP. Yeah. All right. I didn't know there was a reset in this VOD, but it's played for like 20 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
At this point, I think just the game's over. I
Yeah.
don't blame you for going for this weird flank. Just your team's tilted.
Yeah. I mean,
Game's more
the hard part was you used your pings to try to get them to go right. They did not go right, and then they died out in the open, and they just got staggered too hard for you guys to
Mm.
actually reset.
It is also a team fight stages thing where like sometimes uh like people at like gold and plat rank, like their biggest understanding that they have to get through, especially to get the diamond, is just team fight stages. Like you need to realize when it's pre-fight, fight starts, and when the fight ends, because then your conditions, like pre-fight you should be working for space, finding open space and free space. Mid-fight you play Overwatch. Post-fight you need to realize what was the result of the mid-fight, and like, do I jump off the map because I lost? Do I go cap point, or do I set up for next fight, or all stuff like that.
Right. So yeah, I think we've got some pretty good takeaways here. Anyway, just generally, I think that these things will help you help in a pretty real way. Having comms with your teams. I know that it can be hard sometimes. People on the internet are terrible. Mute them if they are bad. That straight up. But it shouldn't stop you from calling out your intentions, um, and that will help. Hopefully, your DPS when you're trying to kind of burst somebody down, get on the same page as you, right? So that's going to be the biggest one from a general perspective. Hero, and these are going to be primarily Winston and Sigma is who you played on this. Practice on very Winston jumps, like we said. Don't necessarily just do the up in the air jump. You're going to want to do the forward and try to turn it into a melee combo so you can burst a little bit better. That should help your just damage go up, and Kiriko's will stop living with 25 HP and they will just be dead instead, which is good. And then from Sigma, keep at a longer range and don't dive in for backline kills.
A good thing to do if you want to go over that tank document I posted yesterday in required bot reviewing. That should help you out with tank matchups on Sigma, because the rock is the biggest thing. It stops Roadhog heal, it stops Sigma grasp, all like escape abilities besides like Orisa gold. So it's very valuable, and it's your biggest asset besides shield, because it is that one shot combo. So
I'm also gonna write utilize Sigma utility more mindfully, as opposed to just trying to like, there's somebody in front of me and I can stun them. I will do that, right? I'm trying to focus pretty specifically on intentional usage to counter their abilities, like Osiren just said.
yeah, and
Um,
that applies. It goes across all heroes. If you learn it on one, then you start thinking about it on all of them. So
yep. Okay, I'm just gonna add this to general, but like just generally reduce APM actions per minute. I'll write it out for you. Which effectively means calm down a little bit. um, yeah,
yeah,
you're just kind of throwing things to throw things, and like we said at the Sigma util, and now with the Winston jumps, like we want you to be utilizing those mindfully, using them for a purpose, and trying to execute them to the best of your ability.
and then once you get used to playing at that low rate or something like that, you'll be able to make those decisions faster, because your awareness will be a lot more, like you'll be able to be aware of more situations. and then because of that, you'll just increase your tempo back up over time to what it is like right now. Probably would take like a month or two to get back to that point, but you'll find instantly you'll be playing a lot better than once you were.
Okay, cool. Nick, I hope that this helps. Please put some of the stuff that we have suggested into play over the course of the next week. Come back with a new VOD. Hopefully, having ranked up a little bit. Good luck in the
He
rest.
will. We will. I know Nick will.
Yeah.
Nick 100% will.
Yep. Okay. We are going to go into the next VOD. I need to find it. Here we go. VOD submissions. All right. Looks like Marcus on Mercy and Lucio and Rialto.
I'll pull up Rialto right now.
Cool.
Stream stops for Discord, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I will
Oh, that's
reshare
cool.
on Discords because I jumped out, I think, to a different channel. Screens. There we go. Sorry about that. No. Screen one. Sorry. All right. Just about ready. Let me just work on notes. This is for Marcus.
Now we're getting to support the role that I know so well.
Yep.
It's all coming back. So.
Support. Nick was tank, right? Plat 5. 23. All right, we got notes set up. Okay, are we ready to go?
Yep.
All right. You are playing in a 4-stack, huh?
I assume they're talking, but I did pre-watch this, and there are no comms.
Okay.
As well.
Marcus.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say none of them have comms, but I didn't watch the Kiriko one yet. So.
All right. Okay. Same thing. VODs must have comms. I will give it a pass for today, but in the future, all VODs must have comms. It is an integral component to the game. If you are not communicating with your team, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage. Thank you. I can see this one super well. And Nick, if you're still watching or on the VOD, if you're still seeing this, if you are on campus, please feel free to come into the arena and record from here. You can get some better quality on the VOD itself.
You know who Nick rooms with, right?
I do not know.
He rooms with Pepto.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah. Come into the arena. Or
Nick's the best. Nick is the best.
Good. I want to be explicitly clear here. I have absolutely no idea how to play Mercy, so you're up, Osiren.
Yeah, generally like Mercy. The thing that like a lot of lower ranked Mercies get into is they'll like heal the shit out of their tank, and when you're doing that, like, yeah, like you're keeping your tank up, but you want to be training tank HP a little bit for helping out your DPS, because your DPS want to take off angles, especially with Sigma.
Right. I mean, if I understand correctly, if Mercy never needed to heal and just kept 100% uptime on damage on their DPS, that would be the best, right? Like, if they never lost life, it's just a huge boost to have uptime on damage. So.
I mean, maybe the better way to say it is if you have a Kiriko BAP on something like that, where it has a large healing output, you don't have to heal your tank. You should be keeping on your DPS, like, like the stigma is, because it only enables them to do better. It turns, excuse me, it turns every one-on-one engagement for your DPS into a one-on-two.
Yep.
And it's only gonna, especially at lower ranks, it's only gonna make their life a lot easier. Doesn't matter if they're hitting shots, they're just gonna feel more confident in what they're doing.
Right.
And the skill is, when I was watching this, the skill that you can get by, especially with comms, is you can start to have a heightened awareness, because on main support you're not doing a lot mechanically. So you want to be looking for, like, checking off angles for your team, checking what, like, where people are coming, if someone's flanking, and also, like, if your teammates are messing up or like out of position and are gonna get destroyed, you need to have the awareness to realize that, and then decide, oh, do I take the risk, try to save my teammate and save this fight, or do I just let them die, trade them out for helping out someone else? If that
Right.
makes sense. That was a lot, but like,
Yeah. Well,
generally that's what I'll say.
we'll make some points here.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, your Sigma gets out of position, you help him back. I don't know if you have keep toggle beam on. I think you should. Because it seems like you have, you might have.
Where is that
Like,
setting? I'll just pull up Overwatch
it's
real quick.
it's in it's options, change hero, go to Mercy specific options.
Can I do that if I'm spectator right now?
Yeah, you can.
You can. Okay. Where are we? Where am I going?
Controls.
Controls. Thank you.
Change hero to the right,
Oh, duh. Thank you.
and then click on Mercy.
Mercy.
And then you'll see toggle beam connection on. So that makes it so, like, okay, I don't have to like hold heal or hold damage. I'm just either on heal or damage, and that gives you like the 2 extra seconds. And it's especially good for new players. So you're thinking about movement the entire time that you're doing your shit.
Yep. Yeah, so whether or not Marcus does or does not have it on, like, that's just, if you're playing Mercy, that's a good thing to have on.
Yeah, but like right now, when your Sojourn's up there, you can go help your Sojourn. Yeah, go help your Sojourn top right, or your Soldier, because yeah, exactly. Damage boost, damage boost, damage boost, damage boost. Okay. Good PO for your Kiriko there. I would instantly turn around, because then I realize, oh, my DPS are out of position a little bit. I should be helping them out. You do.
Is this positioning correct or good? I feel weird that we're constantly on the ground here.
So yeah, Mercy has that super jump, and you probably want to get that sack down for Mercy, because especially in this scenario, you're whipping back and forth to get all these people and all that stuff. If you're just constantly in the air in this scenario, especially at low ranks where people don't have like the Kovacs like tracking down, where you just like, just insane aim, they will not be able to hit you at all. And it's like a huge, it's so annoying to deal with even at GM. So if you get that down like at your rank, you'll be able to play like 10 times better.
Yeah,
And
and I think you'll
because
be able to see things just a little bit better if you're able to
Yeah.
take that higher space a little bit more. Because, like
Yeah.
you said, you're doing like a 180 heal to heal one person, a 180 to heal the other person in the back line, another 180 to
Yeah.
get back to your DPS, right?
Yeah, the best position for all healers is to be at an angle where you can see your whole team and you cannot see their team. Like a little bit less if like you're on Kiriko or something like that, where you want to be spamming. But on Mercy, if you don't see their team, you're in a good position.
Yeah.
I think the Kiriko is the one not party, I think. But I would call out to them voice comms there. I need Bell. Can you Bell me? Can you carry me through that? Right, res target as well. Good choice of pocket there. You're choosing the right person to pocket every time. Yep, this is exactly right. Yeah, everything is right there. It's just you can calm to your teammates, especially the people in your stack. Hey, like, can we go on a flank? Can we take high ground? And if you're damage boosting your tanks there, or not your tanks, your DPS there, they're gonna have a lot more value. They just died to tire, and like I said, because you don't have to be doing much else, you can look for that tire, call it out, and your teammates will be able to respond to it better. There, not a whole lot I can coach on Mercy, just because it is such a simple hero. Leave. You realize your soldier said and just leave or jump off map.
You probably, honestly, when your Sigma went down in the front there, like, you should have been bailing real hard.
Yeah. That's another team fight stages thing. Realize pre-fight, post-fight, all stuff like that. Start to recognize that, like, okay, once we go down 2 people, it is like almost impossible to win a fight. That's just like the rule of Overwatch. 1, you gotta clutch out. 2, fight's over. If the other team doesn't capitalize and you're able to regroup, like literally live and back up for long enough that you get those 2 people back, then the other team is just throwing. So like right
It
here,
is time to
it's-
leave. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, right here, your team doesn't realize, like, oh, okay, we're down 2. You guys should be running to spawn. I would be running to spawn right now. Run to spawn. Go. Fly.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. And then you don't take this fight as 4, but because you basically don't realize, okay, it's post fight, we need to chill out. You're kind of getting no fight on second point, and it's really unfortunate at all.
Yeah, so that, I mean, like, you're obviously in a stack here, so you can make that calm, and you can say we all need to fall back a little bit harder. And had you done it
Because
to begin with,
yeah.
you would have actually fought there.
Because quite literally, they win 1 fight on first, 1 fight on second, and they're already on third point cap with 4 minutes. Like, that team fight stages are so important to get multiple fights, because even at, like, you'll see at, like, plat rank, they'll be able to get, like, 3 fights on second point, whereas you only got 1.
Actually, I want to go back to that team fight too, just because there was some targeting stuff that I thought was pretty important that I did miss a little bit here. So, was it this one? Or are we already too far back? I think we get another fight out of this here. Oh, but you don't have your Kiriko. That's the problem.
Yeah, I just saw the cards go past.
Yeah,
so
so
you're
like
5 now.
you are 5 now. Here, what I want to see instead of with your Kiriko is throwing cards in right to your Orisa. You should be up here damage boosting this. Is that a Junkrat? Am I seeing that
That's
correctly?
a
Is it Sojourn?
Sojourn, I
Okay,
think.
yeah, up there damage boosting your Sojourn because like while you are down here, your team is kind of out here playing this long angle into people, and they're just gonna get even if you have damage boost on the soldier or anything, like they're just gonna get shot. Whereas you play this high ground, they're going to be able to pressure them away from your back line that's kind of pushed up there. And there's really not much you can do there either. Anyway, right?
Yeah, the thing about mercy healing is that if you're healing someone when they're on critical and they're getting focused or they're getting shot at, they're probably already dead by that point. So unless if it's like a squishy, it's gonna be a bit hard to keep them up, especially like tanks with large hitboxes. That's why I say help out your DPS more than your tanks. So
Yep. There we go. All right. For third point. Cool. Going on flank. When damage boosted. That's disappointing. Like, the idea was good, though, right? Like, following
Yeah,
a
everything was good.
DPS, damage boost to
Yeah.
visor, great.
If you super jump there, you can see, like we said before, you can see a lot more things in pre-fight and choose your heal targets a lot better. Oh, 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 oh.
Alive.
You should be helping out your Pharah.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10. Especially when they're running a diva, because the diva can fly up in Pharah's face, one clipper, or just negate all your soldiers' damage with defense matrix. Pop Valkyrie.
There we go. Little
Yeah,
late,
yeah.
but you did it.
Yeah, if you pop it before there, your team probably gets back up to full, and then you don't have to worry about. You probably don't lose your soldier. Good res, good behind cart res.
You gotta just boost her, though, right?
Yeah, you gotta look for a damage boost opportunity. You're healing a lot of people that are full
Yeah.
health.
That whole third fight, like that whole third point
Yeah,
fight, you
I
basically
feel
did
like
damage boost.
yeah, I feel like you're running into a trap that a lot of lower ranked players end up making, which is that I'm running a support, therefore I should only be healing, just like getting my healing stats up. All supports, like besides Moira, have a large utility thing. So like Bap Lamp, Kiriko Bell. For Mercy, it's damage boost, and then for Lucio, it's his boop and speed. All those utility pieces like are key things in a fight that can swap it either way, as opposed to just like healing. Because if you're just healing someone, they're just gonna stay alive longer instead of like you setting up your team or like executing a fight faster or something like that. And I think when I watched Lucio, it's you fall into that trap of just like only healing. I only want to heal. You should start to look for more opportunities, like with Mercy's damage boost or Lucio's speed, that you're able to enable your team rather than just heal them. If that makes sense. Because like every situation on high ground where your Sojourn goes up there, it's a good play from them. If you help them out with the damage boost, they probably are able to get 1 or 2 picks.
I must go where I'm needed. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Okay, Lucio on the offense.
Yeah, so with Lucio Moira, any tank that you're gonna pick, like you want to be able to burst out and win a fight very quickly. Like I would want to see you pick a tank like Doomfist, Winston, Orisa that's gonna execute and like do stuff like that. But I think what we run into here, I think we have like a very weird mismatched comp. Yeah, yeah. So like as support, like I said before with Winston, you want to be able to look at your team comp and their team comp and say, okay, what do I have to do here? And if you think about it, like for 2 seconds logically, after like you press tab at 15 when comp show, you just think about it logically for 2 seconds, you'll be able to make like a lot better informed decisions. So like, uh, you have 3 separate comp styles here. You have Zarya who wants to play like a little bit of frontline off tank thing where she's able to help out like someone engaging or something like that. You have a rush backline that wants to win the fight really quickly and get in there, and then you have a double sniper DPS line that wants to like stay back, extend the fight, and play mechanics the entire time. You have 3 separate styles, so I would not be adverse to the Mercy that you were running before, or you have to call in a way that helps out everyone, which is extremely hard in this comp. So
Yeah, one of the reasons why having comms recorded too is like you guys. Oh, I'm sure you're a 4 stack, so like you guys pick this comp. So like I want to know why you picked this comp, what your goals are, how you're going to play to it, like having some of that like pre-round communication and pre-round planning would be really helpful. I don't know if you have it, so that's why
Yeah.
we need comms.
It goes back to Nick's question earlier. Like, do you like certain teams have synergies and stuff like that? Like, kinda like yeah, but like every single character in this comp right now has a different job that they want to do, and none of them help out each other. So think about that more.
Yeah.
Just for everyone as a general note. Good amp heal, good boop away on the diva. Good boop. That ISO's your team over there. Amp heal for nothing. I'm gonna keep it real. You have a Moira there. I think something that happened twice there is that whenever you like want to get aggressive on Lucio, which you tend to do, is you'll like walk in at them at their face, like okay, I go for boop and then I leave. You're better off playing like a mid range, spamming. Like you could literally just be on cart and just shoot at people from afar and probably get more damage than you would. Going for that boop, and also they were playing cast, so you probably get sticky there 9 times out of 10. Like that. You literally just backed yourself up, made your shots easier for yourself, and they were able to hit them. Yeah. Everything's right there.
Cool, yeah.
Be a little bit more conscious of your amps. That's like a little bit more conscious of your amps, because sometimes your amps aren't getting value, and the best way that amps get value is by way of comms, like we said. Like just communicate, okay, we're amping in, we're going for something, all stuff like that.
Yep.
Oh god, that Reaper.
Yeah, this will be fun. You see him.
Good beat, good
Yeah.
beat, good beat. That's like an amazing beat. You don't really have to use it. I think you use it because you get scared. But hey, you're steamrolling the fight and you're snowballing when they don't have ult advantage. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, usually with ultimate usage too, like I would rather see it get used than be used at the
Yeah.
perfect time.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Like I was a Zenyatta mate when I played, right? I would rather play and throw like 4 transcendence than one extremely perfectly timed transcendence, right? If you're gonna farm the ult, you might as well use it.
Yeah, and there's nothing on their T comp that you have to save beat for. That's the important thing. And then I think the only thing that you did wrong in that fight is you did not know that Reaper was coming. That's an awareness thing and something you need to be looking out for. Yeah, another instance where you get close up on someone, they're a close range character, you get nothing out of it, and you're just putting yourself in line to be first pick. It happens again there. Pathing is weird. Because I guarantee you could probably just be standing still, like at a mid range, and just shoot them and get more value than you could like trying to go these fancy wall rides and all that stuff that is kind of not needed. You want 2 access till we actually get to the fight. This is good. You can wall ride there to boop the Rhine away. And you have to gotta kite back there. You can't kite forward. No one cares if you lose the wall riding combo. You gotta get out there. Because the only way you win that fight is if you didn't have to have beat up, but you hit that you hit that boop
You hit the
onto
heal
the
and the
Rhine.
beat, yeah, and
Yeah, and
poop the
even
Rhino.
if like the Rhine literally got nothing for it, it was you guys still had forward spawn, and you literally just take cart right after. So if you disengage there, you probably get more cart push at the end of this. That's good, helping out your realizing recognizing that your Sojourn might get lit up there and healing is a
And
good
body
thing.
blocking, even. Like, you jumped right in front of her, which is great.
Yeah. Not something I'd recommend, but yeah.
Yeah,
it's a way
I
to do
mean,
it.
if it's yeah, if it means they don't die and you die, sometimes.
Yeah. So you saw Ryan there,
Yeah,
or your team is punching someone else, but you guys could have punched Ryan there. Don't walk in. Oh my god.
yeah. One thing that I'm noticing is just you are very rarely um amping sound or amping speed. You're almost always amping healing, and like even just to heal one person up in a lot of cases, right? Whereas like if your team is coordinated here and you guys are actually going to engage, you should be amping speed and you guys should be moving because like you're now going forward, everybody else is going forward. So
Mm.
if y'all had just amp speed, like your other healer can heal that Ash.
I would be looking anywhere. Like you're going for wall rides a lot. Like if you kind of just stay still, you just because you're jumping a lot, you're doing all this stuff. Just if you want to play like floor Lucio, I think it's like I said with Nick before. If you play at a lower APM and make smarter decisions over like slower, you'll be able to make those decisions faster and be able to play how like you are now, but like 10 times better. Right here, high level thing, you can be looking for extra space, like, okay, scout out that, like, okay, they're taking top or something like that.
Yeah, I
Wait
think
for your Moira.
there too. You're like your teammates are going to like 50% HP and you're swapping heals and amping, and you could just swap heals, right? They will heal
Yeah,
up.
it's an
And now you
awareness
don't
thing
have
where,
amp.
yeah, yeah, it's an awareness thing where you needed to realize, like, okay, yeah, they're getting shot at, but they're not in any danger because they're just behind cover. And if you recognize that, you don't have to waste heal and stuff like that. So, oh god, you're lucky. Oh
Maybe
no, you're
not.
unlucky.
But yeah, I mean that's a great example, right? So you guys decided that you were going to do this flank play through that tunnel, and instead of having your whole team amped and speeding onto them, they're all kind of moving slow and walking in, and Ryan's able to do kind of whatever he wants, right? Um, so if you have saved that heal amp and use it as a speed amp to engage, you guys would be moving much more quickly, if nothing else.
Why does he do that though? That's so weird. The Rhine.
Yeah.
All right, back on Mercy. So on Mercy, you should be attached to your Ash's hip because they have the longest. They have the most opportunities to get damage in. You split yourself off here position-wise a little bit. Yeah, you have to use fly to get out because you don't kite in the right direction. You should have gone a corner back, and with your team as well, because sometimes on Mercy, sometimes like once or twice, like you'll like autopilot into a corner where you have to use fly to then get out because their team is pushing up because you don't realize that you have to kite because their team is pushing in and you don't have a resource advantage. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot I just unpacked.
Yeah, sometimes you're just like, well, I'm not getting shot here, and then your team doesn't have the position they did before, and you're just like, oh, well,
Yeah.
I can't leave
Now that
either.
you're on to Zen, either one or two things need to happen. You need to help out Yuzaria more, or B, Yuzaria just needs to realize, oh, I don't have a lot of healing. I probably should not take spam. Uh, I don't know if either of those things happen. You probably heal out the Zarya a lot more though. That's what you tend to do. Pop Valk, yep. Good. Ryan Ryan got Shatter there, right? I don't think I have audio on actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Valk was still good. If you have toggle beam target, you probably are able to keep people up more. Yeah. I don't know how you win that out. That's Oh.
I don't know how that far I didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, honestly, same Goose, same. Oh, pause. Okay, so right here, oh my god, this is such a sin. This is such a sin that I see supports do all the time. You do not, your support, and your Ash should not be on cart right now. Like, especially when they're running grind or anything close range or anything in general. If you're stacking cart, you're just giving them an opportunity to just pummel you. Like, you should be playing like you could be playing farther back in choke as opposed to being right on top of cart where they're able to you super easily.
Yep.
I think you should cap here, but that scared the crap out of me. Especially in these
Yeah.
third point scenarios.
And you're
Yeah,
melee pistoling.
yeah, yeah. Especially in these last fight scenarios when the enemy team has spawn advantage, you do not want to be on cart. Like if Zen does not trans there and Reaper does not do that, and like if it's a neutral ult fight where you aren't using anything there, you are dead. You are dead to rights 9 times out of 10.
Oh, we're gonna show team comp there. That's good. Press tab. Press tab again, please.
It's Mei, Zarya, Ash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you have one DPS that helps out with your backline condition, where you want to be isolating someone rushing on them, so you can save speed for that to close the distance.
Yep. We got 25 seconds of this. Sorry.
Amp speed out isn't bad. It's like it was bad on 2 CP, but like I don't really care in Overwatch 2.
Yeah, my only note from a timing perspective is like you amp speed it out into completely unknown, right? Where like if you had just waited 3 or 4 seconds, you would be able to see their team comp and understand that like the amp speed would get you instead of from point A to point B back at the very start. You did it at point B, and you can get to point C where they actually are, because now amp speed's
Yeah.
done, right? So if you just wait the 2 seconds and actually like get get an understanding of what their team is, like you'll know when you need to amp speed.
And on top of that, I'm always wary because I've been playing the game for so long. I know that 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have some type of hit scan like Widow,
Yeah.
Ash, Sojourn on that high ground. So I always let my tank walk out first to face check what's up, and then I'll go in because I don't want to unnecessarily get myself picked
Yep.
just from walking around a corner.
So Ryan should be dead. This Ryan should be.
Yeah.
This Ryan should be dead.
Ooh. So
Okay.
yeah, even though Ryan doesn't die there, you can still like play back, play your time for next wall.
This Ryan should be dead. There we go.
Bap should be dead. Bap should be dead.
Speed boost.
Yeah, when Lucio's generally responsible for getting all deployables like turret, sim turret, torb turret, and like bap lamp because he has no fall off and they're all stationary, so it's really easy to hit. So just keep that in mind for the future. Good boop off. Get off point. Get off point. Don't force point. Yeah, you're 95 to beat there. Honestly, if I'm that close to beat, I'm not sure what you were at the beginning of that fight. I would probably just spam tanks and then play for beat because beat is how you clutch that fight.
You just tried to melee their Reinhardt, so just maybe play back a little bit, like Osiren's been saying.
Yeah.
35 seconds. Sorry. There we go.
Yeah, so you're pocketing your soldier on high ground. He's able to hold the space a lot, more. You kite the right way. That's like something I don't realize you did, but kiting that way instead of kiting through stairs prolongs this fight. Like any player who doesn't like walks down those stairs dies 9 times out of 10 times.
Yep.
Instead of walking out where your soldier did. Oh my god.
I can't believe you're alive.
Alright, everyone's full health. You should be looking for damage boost here.
Yep.
Everyone's full health again. Or almost full health. Yeah, the problem with, like I was saying before about like support utility, because you don't have speed to disengage there or any type of utility to put pressure on their team. You kind of just get ran over because you're running Lucio Moira, or not Lucio Moira, Mercy Moira, which just kind of heal. Don't apply pressure.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, there's trying to figure out the best metaphor or like evergreen concept for this. I mean, Zenyatta just on his own is a fairly good example of like if they're dead, you don't need to heal, right? So like a good offense is better than a good defense.
yeah,
The best defense is a good offense. That's what I'm trying to say.
I feel bad that I remember the concept of pressure on support like way too late.
Yeah.
But pressure is basically like you want to be able to force something out of them, like just pressure just makes sense. When you create pressure against the other team, you're gonna be able to get out their resources, like you're gonna get out like Rhine Shield, stuff like that. You're gonna force them to deal with or have to deal with something or succumb to the consequences 90% of the time. So that's like mercy damage boost and all stuff like that.
Yep.
And
And they
if you're not using mercy damage boost, you're just prolonging the fight that you're already gonna lose sometimes.
Yeah, the other concept that I like to utilize is for Magic the Gathering, which is kind of a weird, it's not Overwatch very much, so it's a lot slower because it's a card game. But um, there's kind of like two philosophies. Imagine that if you play Magic, Marcus, I don't know if you do. Imagine that the entire deck is built with removal spells, right? Um, so no matter what they play, no matter what creatures they play or spells that they use, you can counter them or you can kill them, right? Um, it isn't as good as having a bunch of threats that somebody has to deal with. Like, I would always rather be asking a question than having an answer. So, for example, if Mercy is just running around healing the whole time, like, you feel like you're playing Overcooked, right? You're just running around trying to heal everybody up from 0 to full and making sure that they're alive, like you're babysitting. Whereas if you start asking questions, meaning giving your DPS the power that they need to actually, like, pressure the other team, like Osiren is saying, like, you're going to put, you're going to make them make mistakes. As it stands right now, they don't have to decide whether or not they're going to make any mistakes. They're just throwing damage at you and you're trying to heal it. Whereas if you do it the other way around and you're focused on boosting as much as possible, then you guys are asking the questions, you're doing kind of what you would like to, and you're able to dictate the pace of the game and not run around like a chicken with its head cut off. All right. Good. One more VOD.
Yeah.
Let me work on this. Text. We got a Sonic Blade VOD. And I forget. Let me pull up the Discord. I might drop you out of here by accident. I will get you back, I promise. VOD submissions. Kiriko. How do you pronounce this? Colosseo?
Yeah.
Colosseo? Colosseo? Alright, cool. Thank you.
Coliseum. Yeah.
Cool.
Prepare for
Alright, let me... Oh, I didn't finish my notes. I'm sorry. Before we get to that, I'm just going to figure out these notes here. General VODs must have comms. Damage boost DPS more frequently is something that we were kind of regarding there. Super Jumper play from high ground more often on the Mercy. On the Lucio, stop going for face boops on enemy Reinhardt. Play from mid more and farm ult with primary fire and utilize amp more mindfully. That's it. That's the end of that sentence, I guess. Was there anything else in particular? I want to try to keep things fairly small. I don't want to like get a ton of things that people need to work on, because I think it's, if you go into your next game and you're ready,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and you just work on these things, really should help you.
Focus on awareness. Number one thing. That's the number one thing you have to support. Just like be ready to anticipate where where the other team is gonna like approach from, or like what they're gonna do depending on their comp. Start thinking about like what your comp wants to do, like who do you work best with, and then like we said, uh, start to think about pressure and like what that means. How do you create it, and like what abilities specifically will help out with that, and how do I get resources out of the other team by using my abilities and stuff like that. So
Okay, cool. Sorry, I forgot to do those. I want to make sure that they got in there. Okay. Alright, you can close this notepad. I will reset it. And what else do I need to do? Bronze, right? Okay. I think it's just Sonic Blade too. Sorry, Sonic Blade. Okay. Colosseo. The push map. um,
yeah,
I am not well versed in push. Is this a 5 stack or is this 5? Is this 5 solos?
I think it's 5 solos.
Okay, cool.
battle. Select your hero.
So that no, this cannot be a scrim. We'd seen the scrim code up.
Yeah.
Hello.
We got comms.
What up, boys?
What's up? That's good.
Let me make sure I can hear those. Then.
Am I sharing on
I-
disc?
You're not sharing.
Okay, my
it's not
bad.
on disc.
Hold on.
You're fine.
It says I am. Says my stream is running.
I'll find my own path.
Can you not see it?
I can see it. I can't hear it.
Okay. Please hold.
Ready doing damage.
Actually, let me double check the.
Do you want me to go around them and try to go
No,
around
it's on
them?
that. It's on the thing I thought it was.
I mean,
You can probably hear it now.
yeah, do what you got to do.
Let's see.
I think Flinch and Junkrat kind
A little bit. It's very faint.
bronze.
There we go. Yeah, it's good.
I'll go around the back of them. I'll be very quiet about it.
Alrighty.
They got a Sigma.
Okay, well, my mic is not
They have
working.
Sigma. I wouldn't do it. They got Sigma.
I got one of those. They saw me. They saw me.
Bruh.
Objective unlocked.
All
The
the way
breeze
around.
brings relief.
Widow's down.
Okay.
We're changing options. Okay. Turned off push to talk.
Kaiki.
Nice.
The number one thing I'll say, we talked about, if you're picking up this VOD right now, the thing that we talked about last one is pressure and like the concept of pressure as a support. The best way to create like that pressure where you're forcing things out of the other team, you're forcing them to do stuff. And Kiriko is, I kid you not, just spam down a choke. If you just look down a choke, look at the other team, and just hold shoot, and you just have good uh crosshair placement, like general head level, you're gonna get a shit ton of value. Like you're looking right now, you're looking for like options to heal people that are not there. So you have a lot of downtime where you're not doing a lot. I would just be shooting into the 6 shield or whatever you can do.
Yep.
As they're in that fight.
They have Hanzo now.
Yeah, because I think we have watched this VOD for, I don't know, 2 minutes now, maybe a minute and a half of gameplay, or a minute of gameplay. I have not seen a single person on the enemy team. I think we just saw one like extremely briefly, but
Yeah.
you're playing this Kiriko like a Mercy, if that makes sense. You're just not as close to the players on your team, and you don't have a damage boost. You're playing pretty far, or like an Ana, I guess, is probably more of what I would liken it to. Playing really far back, you're throwing heals to your team. You can't see the other team, which is like, if you're playing Ana, generally pretty good, unless you're trying to get like offensive sleeps and stuff, right? You can play up a little bit more, utilize that pressure.
Hanzo 1.
Hanzo down.
Yeah, pacifist Kiriko is a no-no.
Yeah.
If you want to play like all healing, like you said. this
See?
is good.
Perfect.
Yep. Literally, you get a pick for almost 0 effort there. 100% worth it. Healing a ball, that's perfect. As soon as he goes grab health back, leave him. Go back to damage. The other thing you can do here, if you want to get really, see, like you're hitting shots. Just shoot. Just shoot. You're hitting your shit.
Bars down.
Hanzo's 1.
You can go top right and then spam across the bridge.
Yep.
So you're applying pressure from 2 angles rather than 1. And they're giving up that space for free. They're kind of just defaulting.
Yeah, so had you done that, obviously this Orisa wouldn't be able to really run you down like that. But because Kiriko has the ability to do so, and really no other support does, right? Like Mercy, I guess, can get to somebody. Utilize that high ground as quickly as you can, right? Because you can just climb up there.
Kiriko is allowed to take so much free space with no consequence, just off the fact that she can get out at any time that she wants with no repercussions.
So I understand.
Why she's so broken
I shot
on
her,
top of her headshot damage.
and then I fucking threw a mine against her. Did that.
Wow, that fair fucking chase.
You're walking up here alone.
I got Bob.
Okay, you realize that
You caught yourself.
So once again, free space. That top right where your Junkrat is not where he's nope, not where he's walking to. That mini up to the top right.
Yeah,
That is
the
free space
Junkrat
that you
has
can
been
take.
consistently doing this, and then saying, "I don't know why they turned around and shot at me," as
That is so mean.
as he's throwing bombs in, right?
Yeah. Like I said before, just have good. Like the only thing you need to have good on Kiriko is what do we call it? Crosshair placement.
Yep.
Also, just shoot the Orisa. The Orisa should be dead here because everyone's chasing the Junkrat. It's funny because he's throwing, but he unironically won the fight. Or he didn't. TP over.
I have my time.
I got you, Snhu.
Spam. TP out here, you can TP to Junkrat. Just get into another good position instantly.
Mora's 1.
I feel like you're doing the opposite of what you were doing at the start of the VOD, where you were pressing W as you're shooting. Like you were playing so far away and you could never see the enemy team when you were healing, right? You were only looking at your team, and now when you're shooting, you're pressing W and getting, I think, out of position. So just keep that in mind. You don't need to be further forward to shoot.
Oh, Far came. Are you serious? Far came through the door.
All your bells are good. Like you realize when your team is anti and going for them. You need a TP like a lot more though. Like you can have your uptime increased by a lot and survivability just by literally just pressing shift more at times. This ball's dead.
I'm with you.
Just bell. Just bell. Bell. If you bell ball there, that procs healing on him, and it's not worthy. Like you can TP to junk there, so junk doesn't die.
Should we have
You're
ulted
putting it-
like a while ago?
No, we've had ult for I think like over.
Yeah. I just feel like here, your whole team is up, right?
Yeah.
You've got multiple people here. I feel like an ult, it's just worth throwing.
It's another thing where if you play your distance on Kiriko, it's like the trap that a lot of supports run into and a lot of lower rank players run into. If you're playing your distance, you're allowed to see a lot more of your team and see a lot more of their team when you want to. If you're getting up in your face like you did like on that Hanzo where you're practically on cart, you're putting yourself at a major disadvantage and can get screwed over.
Yeah, and you're unable really, like you can teleport back to your team, but you're unable to heal and damage at the same time. Whereas when you are playing that longer range and you can see your team and you can see their team, you can swap back and forth more quickly too. There you go. So yeah, I'm just thinking, do you want to boot up this map real quick, Osiren?
Yeah, I could do it.
Thanks.
Might take a little bit for me to walk to the point. but
Sure. I
it's
will
weird. This is kind of where I'm looking, right? You were up here. Yeah, so my only note, obviously I'm in spectator, I'm not on Kiriko right now, but one of the things that you have been doing is, like I said, fairly consistently, when you decide that you are going to turn into damage mode and start throwing knives, right? You got way up here to the point of like almost falling off here and jumping onto them. Whereas like if you just play back here, you can see their entire team way better. It's not putting you forward, like it's not putting you near in range of them. Yeah.
You
And
can
then can you
actually,
spectate me for?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate to interrupt, but adding on to that point, like instead of like playing like down here where you're exposing your whole body the whole time, if you play up top, you can hide so it's just your head hitbox and you can limit who you're poking as well. And when you're on high ground, you're always choosing when you're doing something. So you can literally just poke the Hanzo's like right down there. You can shoot at him from over here or over here or stuff like that, all from there. And if your ball's like down there, your Junkrat's over there, you can still go for heals on all of them while being you can do all those things at once without having to play closer to them and then you're shooting like, oh, I got a 180 heal ball, okay, I got a 180 heal junk. You can see everything at that point.
Yep.
So
And the other benefit, like the biggest benefit I think of this right side is that mini on the right there, but you have to be playing back in order to be able to get to it. You can't be playing like the front corner of this kind of raised platform here.
yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, you can be putting that same pressure on in a much less chaotic way from that top site instead of going forward or dropping bottom.
You don't need a drop there, like we said. You're forcing yourself into a situation you don't have to be here. You should die. Yeah. You can stay up on bridge that entire time, and just you can heal ball. It's easier to hit your bell for one thing, because you can just splash it below him.
Interesting.
All those things add up to you. You keep your KD alive there.
I'm with you.
You can bell right there.
They got ahead of us.
Good TPing to your team. You know you can't win that 1v1. Sometimes if you just know you can't win the 1v1, it's better to not use the bell though, because that's a 20-second cooldown, but doesn't matter for your rank. It's like a high, all that stuff.
No way, dog.
How do I not just go?
I've got robots ours.
Yeah, I got scared there for a second. I'd like to see you rather playing a corner. It's good that you're focusing this Pharah and you're forcing her to play around corners just by virtue of you tagging her. It's really good. But if you play a corner there, you don't have to worry about like spam sometimes, and you have a better disengage playing natural cover.
It's like, do you want to just show pretty quickly like the difference between standing out in the open and playing a corner?
Yep, I got you. So like what you're doing sometimes is like, okay, I'm just gonna stare up, I'm gonna shoot this Pharah, and you're exposed all the way back there. So if Hanzo's just spamming down there, or they're honest looking, you're getting shot from those places. But if you want to play like over here, so you're only poking like one person at a time, so you can shoot the Pharah, help out, and then like, okay, if I want to go help out ball, I'll rotate over here. Then I'm only exposed to this angle. This Coliseo like 50% right there is very weird, where like, all right, so this angle without I'm at can only shoot that one. This one can only go for that one. It's weird. It's so weird, but you get the point. Playing it around natural cover gives you the option to go in and out rather
And like
than
you can move up utilizing those different sides of cover, right? So like as you
Yeah,
go forward, you can move into this front left, and as you go even further, you can move over to the right side and then pressure further.
Yeah.
But try to utilize natural cover instead of kind of standing out in the open, and exposing yourself.
So long, bestie.
Hanzo top left.
Climb up.
Good bell saves. Can maybe make that decision a bit quicker. The only thing I'll say is like,
No one's pushing the
oh,
robot.
good you recognize that. Thank God you recognize that. That probably wins you the game.
I
Yep.
No, you good.
Are you kidding me? Fucking
You
do
can't
so-
realize, oh, my Moira is there.
Still
She
killed
has
me.
orb, and then I don't have to TP and waste my bell. Seafarer, yeah. Cover again. Play around cover at this point because you force your TP out for no reason there. You could be hugging that close wall and then fair spam won't hit you. Yeah, your Widow falls to the mistake I'm talking about, where if you're not playing around cover, you're not
Yeah,
gonna
she
miss
just
us.
pushed out to the middle, and Farah was like, "Oh, easy,
Yeah.
okay."
And at this point, I just stay on point because it's not like we're gonna be doing anything. Oh,
Nice.
all right,
Got this on.
nice. Oh, please don't tell me you rush to clutch it out. You can do it like beneath
Far all down.
right now, but 50% is not a bad choice. Oh, don't TP. Oh,
Oh, no.
Ball, TPing to Kiriko is ball is bad.
Yeah.
He's gonna leave you.
Yeah, his job is literally drop in the middle of their team and then run away, and you
Yeah.
teleported when he dropped in the middle of their team.
Yeah, he's good. He has the ability to literally leave fight at any time, go grab a health pack for like 5 seconds, then come back.
Yep.
What's up?
They're running Sombra now, so they're big meds.
I like how their whole enemy team comp. Ooh, nice.
Headshot.
I like how their whole enemy team comp is just to counter yours. It's not you doing anything, but you being there is helping out like them. You can rush down main here. Just burn.
Oh, no.
Oh.
The notification.
Holy.
Time to try again.
I don't think I can coach that.
No, yeah.
Um,
There's nothing there. It's just,
You just-
hope
you-
that
you
doesn't
just rush-
happen.
Yeah, you just rush down main there and probably get off D.Va. I mean, kill D.Va and then you win.
30 seconds.
Yeah, let's just try to
You
hold
can still
for
win at this point. Don't drop, don't drop, don't drop, don't drop, don't drop. Like I said last map, forcing point support, horrible idea. Literally worst thing you can do. It's a last resort. Good TP. Get back in that
Nice.
room. Yep. Exactly.
Just
the
stay
thing
in
you
there.
should be doing. Yeah. You're not playing to win this fight in 2 seconds. You're playing to win this fight over a long time. Yeah. If you stay in that room, you have a health pack, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay. All right. Okay. You're panicking so much because of your positioning.
Yeah.
Like, if you're off point here and you're not forcing, like, yeah, they push the cart maybe like 3 meters, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
The only thing that matters is ultimately winning the team fight.
Yes. So stay in that room, stay on high ground,
There you
realize
go.
when you have an advantage. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
God.
it's just chaos. But it's chaos that you're bringing upon yourself. You know, that's I think what we're trying to say is like even if you just get in the habit of pressing S and A and D when you are throwing things as opposed to W when you are throwing your knives, like you are going to feel much less chaotic and you aren't
Yeah.
going to get into the middle of their team and be overwhelmed, right?
You want to do a third spectate because I can give a good example.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, if you're playing for right here, and keep in mind all this high ground like side space thing applies to other maps as well. But instead of okay, I'm gonna get on point, I'm gonna like juke around. I'm like climbing up, I'm climbing over all this stuff. Like, look at how easy my aim will be, and how easy the shots will be if I am just up here, 80 strafing, and that is all I'm doing. I'm playing Kovacs, I'm playing Duck Hunt the whole time.
The other thing too is like from an aim perspective for the other team, like you pressing A and D constantly and moving back and forth like that, it makes it much harder for us to hit. Whereas if you're pressing W, like if you just jump off that and press W at me, like, oh, you don't know where
Yeah.
my camera is, do you?
No, I
No,
don't.
okay. If you just like jump off of that and run straight, like jump down to the street and run straight right now.
Mm. Yeah, the most predictable path for someone to track is when they're trying to escape at any point. So if
Yep.
you're playing on point and you're always trying to escape and always stay alive, you're gonna die a lot quicker than just staying up top and doing your thing.
So that is, I mean, that's probably the biggest note that we're gonna give.
And I bet you once you fix that, then you'll be able to work on like ability usage and all that stuff. But if you're giving yourself time 24/7, you will 100% hit the next rank because no one at your rank does that. So
Yep. I'm just gonna call this all effectively pretty general stuff because it's obviously it is kind of hero based because it's Kiriko. But general is just going to be utilize natural cover. Don't press W when using knives on Kiriko. Don't teleport into chaos teleport away.
Yeah.
Away from pressure generally. So like for the most part, Kirikos are going to teleport back to safety as opposed to teleporting forward. At the higher level, I'm sure Osiren can attest, like, sometimes you will
Yeah.
be teleporting in with somebody to try to kill someone. Like, you'll be going for an explicit kill. In Bronze 3, you're probably not. That's probably not the play you're going to make, right? You need much more coordination in order to be doing that. So for the most part right now, really focusing on not teleporting into chaos.
Use wall climb to get yourself into chaos, get yourself into good positions, and then TP out. Especially with the amount of time that you have in bronze. Like, I've even played like GM lobbies where like, okay, I'm just gonna like hide in a place around a corner because I know someone's gonna path there, and then just light them up, and then just get a pick, and then just TP back to my team. That's a thing I do a lot, but that's you gotta guess pathing, which I don't expect you to do at this point because no one knows how they're pathing in bronze.
Yep. Okay, cool. I'm gonna drop these into our notes and get us another rod next week. Put some of this stuff into play, and this should help you climb. If you have any
Yeah.
questions in the meantime, let us know in general chat, or we can chat. Send us messages. We are available.
Yeah, I'm available pretty much all week, so just DM me with whatever.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Osiren.
Alright. No problem.
Good review session. I'm glad that we had, plenty of odds to go over. Hopefully that will continue to be the case. Thank you everybody for submitting. Hopefully this stuff does help, and hopefully even, let's say, if you watch the stream or you tune into the VOD afterward and you might not necessarily play a particular role, you might learn, like, especially, for example, Sonic Blade might have a better understanding of like how Winstons are going to approach attacking Kirikos through watching the first review that we did today. So hopefully, watching learning tips can help everybody. All right. Have a good day, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.